separate Israeli airstrikes in the south, including a drone attack on a vehicle in Wadi al-Hujair. Israel's military confirmed it killed a Hezbollah operative from the Wadwan force in that area and later struck another target in Hanin. Despite a ceasefire reached in November, cross-border attacks have continued. The United Nations says at least 71 civilians have been killed by Israeli strikes in Lebanon since that date. Hezbollah claims that the overall death toll stands at 186. Israel maintains 5 strategic positions in southern Lebanon, while Hezbollah has begun ceding military outposts to the Lebanese army under the terms of the truce. Israel has announced that it has converted 30% of Gaza into a buffer zone as its military offensive continues. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reaffirmed Israel's commitment to its blockade on humanitarian aid to the territory. At the same time, Israeli forces have resumed air and ground attacks, ending a 2-month ceasefire. The United Nations reported that around 500,000 Palestinians have been displaced since March the 18th, creating what it calls the most severe humanitarian crisis Gaza has faced since the conflict began. Israeli airstrikes have targeted over 1,200 sites, while Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz stated that Gaza is being left smaller and more isolated. In a separate development, Netanyahu has directed his negotiating team to continue efforts towards the release of hostages held by Hamas, which has signalled it is preparing a response to Israel's ceasefire and hostage release proposal. Let's move back to Europe now, where a Russian drone attack has killed 2 people and injured at least 16 others in the southeastern Ukrainian city of Dnipro. The attack, which took place on Wednesday evening, also left several fires in its wake. Among the injured are 3 children, including a 9-month-old. Local officials say 15 homes, a student residence and a food plant were also damaged. Authorities report that one strike came dangerously close to municipal offices. Dnipro's mayor also added that the number of injured could be as high as 28. Let's move to South America, where Nadine Heredia, the wife of former Peruvian President Ollanta Humala, arrived in Brazil after requesting asylum. Heredia, who was sentenced to 15 years for money laundering, flew to Brasilia with her youngest child after a court conviction in a sweeping corruption case involving the Brazilian construction firm Obrecht. Humala, who also received a 15-year sentence, spent his first night in jail alongside other former Peruvian presidents. Heredia's asylum request is being evaluated under Brazil's refugee law. The Obrecht scandal has impacted numerous Latin American politicians, with several former leaders under investigation for incarcerated, including Humala's defense, which plans to appeal the conviction. Well, that's all we have time for. We will continue to bring you more news updates from around the world.